are you doing, guys? Are you ready to start another episode of Coffee Live Tuesday? So great to have you here on the channel. To the one who watching the YouTube, if you love this content, share it, give me a huge thumbs up because every single like helps. And today we are going to deep dive on the 3 top things that can get you out of procrastination. If you ever had those days that you feel, I don't know if I want to do anything today. I don't know if that's the right moment. I don't know why should I ever do something right now. Maybe I should do it tomorrow or the next day, and that day never comes. So we are going to deep dive on those 3 steps that you can do in order to get the hell out of there. Are you ready? We first start with the intro. And welcome back. So, you know those days when you said to yourself, I don't know, I don't have power today. I will do it tomorrow. I don't know if now I can do it, maybe later. Maybe I will start tomorrow. And then that tomorrow delayed for a week, for 2 weeks, for a month, for a year. And then you feel like, what the hell have I done this year? What the hell did I do for all that time? So I have been in those moments many, many times before. And what helped me is to get the hell out of there when I feel frustrated, when I feel like I don't want to do anything. It all starts here. It's the mindset. Because as you know, it's 80% mindset. Write it down. 80% mindset, 20% action. It's 80% mindset, 20% action. And with those 3 tools that will help you to shift the mindset and tap into your power, that's how you get the hell out of procrastination. What helps me always to get out from procrastination. So let's deep dive into it. What happened is that I used to have the old story in my brain. And when we tell ourselves that old story that I can do this, I'm not good enough, now it's not the right time, maybe later, it comes from an old story that we have been told ourselves over and over and over and over and over again. And when we don't lead ourselves, how do we expect others to follow through? How do we expect others to join us if it's in our business or if it's our family or other people that are around us? How do we expect them to follow us if we don't follow ourselves, if we don't actually change the story that we are telling ourselves? And it all starts there. So the first key is, what is the story that you keep telling yourself? Become aware to the story. What happened is that I used to say to myself all the time that I'm not good enough, that because of my past, I will never be able to actually do anything and learn anything. Because when I was little, and it's really hard for me all the time to share this, but I really want that you will see how this story can change your life. What happened is, when I was little, I had an abusive father that for everything that I done, I got smacked. I got beaten. I got cursed and shout like, you are no good. You're good for nothing. You will never be good for anything. You're a piece of trash. Like, that's the words I heard over and over and over and over again for years. And that's got ingrained in my brain. I'm no good. I'm a piece of trash. I will never be good for anything. I'm not worthy for success. I'm not worthy for love. And when I told that story to myself over and over again, how could I lead? How could I step up? How can I start my own business? I couldn't that time. And for years, I tried to put some businesses out there and they failed big time because the story was always there. You're not good enough. You're not worthy. You just quit. And every time that I start to see a bit of success, I like got driven out of there. The money will disappear like that. The success will disappear like that. Why? Because I was so focused on the old story. I'm not good enough. I'm a piece of trash. I'm not worthy. And when I was there in that story, how could I actually do something? When we tell ourselves that we are not worthy, that when we tell ourselves that we are not good enough, when we tell ourselves, oh, you're such an idiot, come on, wow, what are you doing? Like, when we beat ourselves constantly, how can we expect to get any good results? How can we expect to rise up? Because if you have low energy, what kind of results will you get? Comment below. What kind of results will you get if you have low energy? If you have a lousy story that you keep telling to yourself? What kind of results will you get? What kind of energy will you get? Will it be high energy or low energy? Low, right? And what action will be? High or low? Low, right? And what kind of results will you get? Low results, right? Because when we keep telling to ourselves, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I don't have the knowledge right now, I need more knowledge, it's not the right time for me, I'm old, I'm young, I'm blah, blah, blah. All the bullshit story that we keep telling ourselves. This deprive our energy, and therefore, how can we actually perform in a higher level? How can we lead? How can we expect someone to follow us? So we got to change the story. Does that make any sense? Let me know if that makes sense to you. Comment below if it does. If not, I would love to know. So comment below if it does make sense to you. So first of all, identify what is the bullshit story that you keep telling yourself that actually lets you to self-sabotage yourself and keep you procrastinate over and over and over again. What is that story? Become aware to it. Right now, let's do it together. Comment below, what is that bullshit story, the old story that you keep telling yourself? That's the first key, to be aware. Because if we're not aware, we can't change it. We can't change it. You know, when I was a kid, I was a huge, chunky little kid. I weighed around 120 kilos. That's 230 pounds, something like that, around that weight. And I hated myself back then. And I wasn't aware that I am fat because I gave to myself all the excuses. No, you're just big bones. No, you try everything. I didn't try everything, because when I try everything, that's when I started to lose weight. That's when I started to change. So when we tell ourselves those stories that keep up with us every single day and that's ingrained in our brain, how can we change? How can we shift? We can't if we're not changing the story. So let's become aware to it. First of all, what is the old story that you keep telling to yourself? Comment below. Let's become aware right now. Let's do that transition right now. So that's first. Become aware to your story, to the old story. Now we are going to change it. Now it's the time to rise up and change it. So if you say to yourself, for example, I used to say to myself, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. So I didn't change it to I'm good enough, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, because that's like affirmation and it doesn't work. Because if you keep telling to yourself, let's say you're sad and you keep telling to yourself, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm joy, 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 joy. It doesn't work like that. Because you can tell that 20 years and maybe then something changed. But we don't want to wait 20 years until it will change, right? So we got to look at the new story. The new story begin with what good came out of the old story. What good was there in the old story? For example, with my abusive father, abusive stepfather, what happened is, what good was there? So when I start to see another perspective, gave myself a new story. So what's good was that I got the skills of understanding human language, body language. It will sound bad, but yeah, when he came to hit me, I looked at the body and I knew how he will react to things, and then I change it and understood that what's going to happen, and I start to actually gain the skill without even notice the body language and understand the body language, and then the tonality, because if he was yelling, if he was that I knew what's going to happen. Therefore, I was noticing those little shifts in the tonality, and I started to actually implement that on myself as well. So I gained skills of notice the body language, notice the tonality. I got a lot of empathy and caring about others because of the shit that I went through. It gave me the capability to have the empathy, to really care about the other side. So when you look at the old story, think about what it gives you. What good came out of it? Even if it was bad as shit, what good came out of it? Comment below. What good came out of that old story of yours? What was it? Now, when and that's how you change the perspective. Because as us, as human beings, we wire to think negative from primal times. And now what we're doing, we rewiring our brain to look at the positive, to look at the things that give us the capabilities and growth. Does that make any sense? Let me know if it does. Comment below if it does make sense to you. Now, that's the second part. So the first key is to actually become aware to the old story. The second one is having perspective and change your perspective, see the good in it, because then you actually see what's good out of it, and you have more power, more momentum to actually strive forward, and you're not procrastinating. So third, that's one of the most important things, is what is your spell? Now, what is a spell? A spell is something that you're telling yourself every single day, every single time that you're feeling that you're not at that moment and you're feeling like you're deprived of the energy. You're telling that, and you're creating that energy. You're creating that magical moment in actually to have more momentum. Now, how does it work? Instead of saying, for example, I used to say, okay, I'm worthy because I felt like I'm not worthy. That's just an affirmation. When you're just saying that words, that's an affirmation. But when you add as well, why you're worthy, why you're happy, why do you have the knowledge? Why are capable of doing this? Because I'm freaking learning all the time, because I'm implementing, because I'm making the steps, and then that become like some kind of a power phrase. It becomes a spell that actually gives you the momentum to strive forward even when you feel down. So when you feel down, you're just enchanting that. You're saying, okay, so I am worthy because I freaking have the energy, because I'm giving all myself, because I'm caring, because I want to serve more. You're giving those reasons why is it important to you, and why you are capable of this, why you are happy, why are you willing to do what it takes, why. And then bam, you're in that moment, you have that energy like magic. That's the 3 steps. You know what? I want to give you a pro tip right here before I go. A pro tip is the little thing that without it won't count. So after you're saying that spell, after you have that spell, don't go and sit around on binging on Netflix or going and scrolling on Facebook and YouTube. No. Take the action. Take the freaking action right after that, because if you have a decision and you're living it without taking the action, you're losing the momentum, you're losing the energy, you're losing the implementation in that, and therefore you procrastinate. And then that comes for another day and another day, and that day doesn't come, because then also you beat up yourself. Oh, man, I didn't do it yesterday, I didn't do that today, blah, 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 blah. You're beating yourself up. So instead, give that new story and that power phrase, and then bam, make the action. Make the freaking action. Oh, I love what Veronica said here. Veronica says, take the action, do not lose the energy. Exactly. You got to take the action right after you have the new story and now you have the spell. So the minute you're saying the spell, bam, you're in it, make the move. Start taking the action. Like, if you won't take and remember, the imperfect action. Take the imperfect action, because it doesn't need to be the perfect action. It will never be the perfect action. If you will wait for it, for being the perfect action, guess what? It will never come. I used to be that perfectionist, that I was waiting for the perfect moment, for the perfect product, for the perfect knowledge. That's bullshit. Just make the move. Make the imperfect action that counts, with the right spell, with the right energy, and with the right story. So I would love to know, what is your new story? What is the spell that you are going to take right now? I would love to know. Comment below. Remember, the 3 keys is, first of all, identify, become aware to your old story. Second, what is your new story? What kind of capabilities, what kind of good skills you got from that old story, what good it gave you. 3 is, after you know it, the spells. After you have the good story, the spells. Have that power spell that gives you more momentum. And the pro tip, take the imperfect action. Don't wait, just take the imperfect action, make it happen, and that will destroy procrastination. So I would love to know, how does it go for you? What is your new story that you're going to say? What is your new spell? I would love to know. Comment below. Let's make that happen. And guys, until next time. And if you love this content, give me a huge thumbs up, share it with your family, share it with your friends, share it with your loved ones. And if you are watching the YouTube channel, just hit the subscribe button to never miss out an episode. And Veronica says here, before I go, Veronica says, hey, love myself, take action. Ooh, that's so good. That's so good. Veronica, you are incredible. Make it happen. Take the action. Love yourself. That's the way to thrive. So until next time, guys, have an amazing and productive day, and keep on going, keep on growing. Until next time, have a great one, everybody.